Hello everybody and welcome back to Tea with Jules. Today my guest is Justine Clarke. Now she is one of Australia's most accomplished actresses. She's been doing it since she was 7 years old. She's also a children's entertainer. She writes the most amazing children's songs that we know and love in our family. And she's come today to have a little cup of tea with me and a chat on what she's up to now, and we delve back in time and talk about what she was doing when she was 7. The girl can work hard. Please welcome Justine Clarke. I said to you before, there's just so many things to talk about. You've done so many things in your life.
Yes.
It's just
incredible. I have. I've been around for a very long time.
Yeah. So 7 years old, what were you doing when you were 7?
First thing I did was a commercial when Mike Willesee, who you may not remember.
I
do. You know?
Yes.
Okay, good. You know.
I'm not that young.
Okay, good. His news program it changed to 6 o'clock, so it was Willesee at 6 was the name of the show, and I had a lisp. And so I said Willesee at 6, and I thought that was really cute.
Adorable.
Yeah. So that was my first commercial, and then I did a Humphrey B. Bear Biscuits commercial where I got to do a cartwheel, and I met Humphrey B. Bear, which was pretty amazing. I was like, wow, this is the career for me. This is great.
Humphrey and cartwheels.
A cartwheel and meeting Humphrey.
He's amazing. He doesn't talk though, so,
No.
not sure how you made that connection with him, but,
No.
it's okay.
I did see him with his head off too, which was slightly disturbing.
No.
Yeah. But
That's terrifying.
yeah, but I think even then, I was like, oh, well, this is showbiz.
You know what? It's
This
a
is
good
how it is.
introduction to showbiz because that's what happens.
It's life.
It's not real.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't do a lot of performing really when I was young, only on TV, but not much sort of stage stuff until I was about 12, and then I did The Sound of Music, which was just the most wonderful thing. Again, it's like, stepping into this world that you're so familiar with and that you love so much, and I'd grown up watching that movie, and then I was there playing one of the Von Trapps, singing those songs that I knew so well from my childhood, and in this incredible old theatre in Sydney, and with all these amazing performers, and it was wonderful.
And then Home and Away.
Yes. Home and Away. Yeah.
Rue. I guess that was the thing that hurled you into the spotlight, and that's, I guess, how we all came to know and love you.
Yeah, and I felt like I had a whole body of work behind me before then. I'd done quite a lot of television shows, more like, telefilms and children's television series. So I'd been working all through my teens, but that was the first time that I felt like it was such a big show, and it was so well supported by Channel 7, and they launched it so brilliantly, and we spent so long on the road every weekend promoting it, and that was the first time I really saw kind of fame, I suppose, what fame was, and that instant sort of fame too, where suddenly everybody knows you and everybody knows your work, or at least they know your character. They know the character that you play, and they're very invested in that character.
Yes.
That was a really big change for me, yeah.
Because you were a part of the original cast.
Yes.
And then your character came back, but as Georgie Parker.
I know. She's back. Yeah, which is lovely. I've known Georgie for a really long time, and she's just a glorious human. They really wanted Georgie in the show, I think. I mean, why wouldn't you? She's brilliant. And Rue's such a great character, particularly because of Alf, and he's such a loved character in the show. So it sort of made sense that they brought her back as a character.
Yeah. How do you handle fame at that age? Being a 16-year-old, were you in school still at that age?
No, I'd left school.
Okay.
I thought that was a really good idea at the time. It was funny because it wasn't, it didn't come naturally to me to be a sort of an extroverted. I'm not really an extrovert, so I didn't really like having that sort of attention. And I also didn't feel like I really deserved it. I felt like I was too young, and I didn't really, I didn't know how to really handle it, I don't think.
You're in it because you love acting, and that's the thing you want to do with your life, and that's what you're doing. And then it's like a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
That you just have to kind of deal with. And when you're not in it for that, it's just one of those things you have to deal with.
Yeah, that's right. And so I did my time, and then I felt like I wanted to just play other characters and try other mediums again.
And what did that lead you to?
So it led me to, after a little bit of time doing telly, to go back to drama school and, learn my craft and work in theatre, which is what I did for the next 5 or so years after I left drama school.
When did you know absolutely this is what I want to do with my life? This is it.
I think I had to make that choice again in my 20s, in my early 20s. When I went to drama school, I had to kind of go, is this what you want to do with your life? This is what you have been doing forever.
Yes.
And you've never really questioned it.
Yeah.
But is this actually what you want to do? So I think I must have been about 19 or 20. And I think through drama school, I realised, oh no, this is really interesting and challenging. I learn a lot through acting. I learn a lot about, history and just generally about the human condition. And I find it's a really good way for me to learn. I think I didn't spend a lot of time at school, and so I didn't learn, in a kind of conventional way. And so it sort of suits me to learn through my work.
Play school. I mean, talk about iconic.
Yeah.
Talk about a show that has absolutely stood the test of time, been in everyone's lounge room at some point.
Yeah.
I watched it as a kid. My kids watch it. It's a beautiful, amazing show. Talk me through how you got the job in the first place, because that's a really hard job to get.
Yeah, it's a hard job to get an audition for.
Okay.
So that's the first thing, is there's not a lot of, places. So to even you sort of get vetted before you've even had a chance to do it.
Right.
So that's one part where you sort of already, the numbers are tight.
Possible, yeah.
And then when you get in there, I think there's some sort of play school sort of thing that you have or you don't have.
Right. What is that? It's calmness.
I think it's calm. I think it's relaxation, and it's a rhythm. It's a kind of gentle rhythm. And making sure that you do connect. You try and connect with one person.
What are you thinking about when you're talking to a camera and you're telling a story, or you're telling someone how to do their craft or whatever it is? Who are you talking to?
It's a she, I think, most of the time. Sometimes it's a boy. It doesn't really matter. It's a 3 or 4 year old.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I just know that energy because I have 3 children, so I know what that child is, is going to be doing on the other side of the camera.
Yeah. From play school, I mean, you've managed to have this amazing, brilliant balance of being this person that can entertain children, which is an impossible task. Write these amazing songs that engage with them, perform them, put albums out, but then you are the most brilliant of actresses in some of the best television shows, movies that we have in this country. It's phenomenal how you do that. To me, when I see that, I'm like, 1 minute she's singing about watermelons and the next minute we're bawling our faces off over, some amazing scene. That's incredible, that. It really is. To watch it, it's so inspiring.
Oh, that's lovely. It's funny. I feel like it's all, in a way, it's all the one thing. Because in the way, it's all about kind of connecting to inner truth, I suppose. I mean, I don't want to sound sort of too deep about it, but trying to kind of, I suppose, with the music for kids, it's a way of them all uniting, particularly in a concert. But even just music, it's just a way of kind of connecting to that inner spirit. And I feel the same way about when I see a good story told in a television show or on stage, that we're all connecting to some, what binds us.
Can I just tell you this really funny story that's happening at my house right now? As you know, Guy is a songwriter. Yeah. The other night he was putting the kids down to bed. He came downstairs, he's got his phone out, he's got some lyrics on his phone. He's like, I've written a song with the kids upstairs. It's called Halitosis Seth. And the song is about a little mouse, an evil mouse, who has really bad breath.
Fantastic. And Seth rhymes with breath. It's brilliant already.
Can I sing you the chorus?
Yes, please.
Halitosis Seth, evil little mouse is he. Seth, Halitosis Seth, has disgusting breath indeed.
I love it.
That's how the song goes. There's a verse and a chorus and a verse and a chorus. It's
so good.
I told him that I was talking to you today and that maybe you could insert that into your show.
The tour is called the Silly Songs Tour. If they want to record it, we will play it on screen.
How can
and
you
we'll teach the audience
Oh, I can't wait to come.
Oh, good.
And another thing is Muriel's wedding.
Oh, yes.
The stage show. I watched on the plane. I was on the plane. You know that one time you're alone and you can watch something?
And you're strapped in.
Yeah, it was the best. The documentary in Finding Muriel. And, so brilliant. I loved it. And Kate Miller Heidke writing those amazing songs. And just like, I was like, this is going to be epic. And you're in it.
Yes.
As well. You're playing the mama, right?
Yeah, I played Betty Heslop. Yeah.
Betty Heslop.
That was amazing. The most amazing part was being in that room with Kate and Kia.
Yeah.
And the director, Simon Phillips, and the musical director, Isaac Haywood, and PJ Hogan, the writer of Muriel's Wedding. And just being in a room with those incredible creatives all working together to make this show the best thing that it could possibly be, and they worked so well together. So I urge everybody to go and see that when it comes back next year.
I'm very excited to see it. Yeah, and PJ, he's just so heartfelt about that movie. He's just so passionate for the characters and the story and the message that it's putting out. I was so moved really watching that. What a great message to be putting into the world. Just be yourself, be who you are.
Yeah,
it's so important.
Yeah, it's really important.
How important is that to you, and has that been in your career on being yourself through the journey?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty important. A journalist said to me the other day, do you think the children's music's kind of kept you sane? And I was like, oh no, And then I thought about it, I thought maybe it has.
Yeah.
Maybe it has kept me grounded because it serves a real function. I suppose because I get to sing, in with them, I can see that it has a real effect on them. And the one thing I love is hearing them sing.
Right.
Hearing them sing a song and sing the words and, be in time with the rhythm and, engage in the music some way. So, yeah, maybe it has kind of kept me a bit sane and a bit grounded.
And I just want to ask you one more thing about motherhood and being a working mum. I just feel like it's the bazillion-dollar question that everyone kind of is trying to figure out. Well, everyone who's a working parent is trying to figure it out. Like, you want to be good at what you do, which you are. But, does that have to come at the cost of your kids and your family and all the rest of it? Like, can we have it all? Do we just have it all at different times? What's your theory behind that?
I was brought up to believe you could have it all, but I think you can, but you just can't have it all at the same time.
Yeah.
And when you do have it in those moments, just remember to acknowledge that that's a moment where you do have this, great unity within your family, or you do have this amazing moment in your career, or, to just recognise those achievements, I suppose.
Yeah.
My kids are 17, 15 and 9 now. So we're in a sort of different phase.
Yep.
I still look for that balance, but that balance now is a lot finer. It's not physical. It's not that physical labour of the early years, but it's always trying to make sure that you're taking the temperature of your family and seeing if everyone's okay with this. Are we still okay? Are we all still connected? And I know I can feel like a ghost in my own house if I'm working too much, and I don't like that feeling. So I'll pull back when I feel like I'm working too much, and it's mainly to do with me. It's mainly to do with how I feel. And I know when I feel disconnected, and I think that's one thing I've learned, is that it's more about, making sure I'm happy. My kids, I know my kids are okay when Jack's looking after them. I know they're fine and happy.
Yep.
But I don't feel necessarily happy.
Yeah, because you want to be there and be a part of it. Yeah.
And that's absolutely a legitimate and wonderful and rewarding and necessary thing.
It's an impossible question to answer, I feel like, too.
Yeah.
Because it's different for everybody.
Absolutely.
You do what works for your family and for you and your husband and your kids. No one's the same. No situation is the same. You just have to do it how you do it.
Yeah.
And that, I love that checking the temperature. That's such a good way to think about it. Everyone okay?
Is everyone okay? Are we all right?
That's such a good way to think about it. I'm going to go home and check everyone's temperature right now. Justine, thank you so much. That was such an insightful chat.
Oh, thanks, Jules.
I feel like I learned so much about so many things. Thank you, Justine.
Thank you.